They are our grandmothers and grandfathers. They are our moms and dads, our brothers and sisters. No matter what their age, older adults are our greatest generation. Today in America, there are 40 million people over the age of 65. In the next 20 years, 1 in 5 individuals will be over the age of 65. And many of these people, possibly you and me, will need a helping hand. And that's why there has never been a greater need for the Senior Source.
For some older adults, we literally connect them to the community. For others, we find them something meaningful in their lives. Then for others, the most frail elderly, we are there. We're in many ways their lifeline. And we've really been thinking about the boomers, thinking to the year 2030 when the last boomer will turn age 65. On October the 1st of this year, to celebrate our 50th birthday, we had 50 people over 50 jumping out of airplanes, skydiving. So as the older adult population has changed, so has the Senior Source.
Before there was the Senior Source, back in 1961, outreach to seniors focused primarily on social activities. Resources for the growing needs of older adults were limited. But for the last 50 years, and to this day, the Senior Source mission is clear: to improve the quality of life for older adults in North Texas. How do they do it? Protection, elder care, volunteerism, and advocacy.
And I remember when I walked into his apartment for the first time, the emotional state that he was in, as well as the physical state, that it bordered on despair.
I'd had problems with the bank, a lot of NFS, and I was in a really bad situation.
When I asked him how much money he had in his checking account, as I'm kind of starting to formulate my plan of how we're going to get out of this, he says, I have $4.12.
For an older person, there is no more desperate feeling than knowing you're out of money. Quite often, it means you're out of hope. But the Senior Source's Money Management Program has been a lifesaver for many North Texans. It's a volunteer program that matches older adults with volunteers who do everything from managing financing to organizing bills to reviewing mail solicitations that are often scams. Older individuals like Buster Smith, who has had multiple strokes and has battled cancer, needed CPA Jim Garner to keep him from being evicted.
What I didn't realize was the emotional side of it. That you think about mechanically somebody's going to lose their apartment, that means one thing, but to actually see it and see the burden that it's placing on their soul and their person, it was definitely a little emotionally painful to watch the first time.
The Money Management Program is about volunteers who are not only smart, but caring as well. And while they may only spend 1 or 2 days a month helping their clients with their finances, it's clearly a program that has impacted their way of life.
I don't know where I would be if you were not here. And I truly don't know where I would be.
And he played I Only Have Eyes for You. And he didn't say anything else. He just caught me by the hand and took me back to where I was standing waiting for the bus.
Raymond Green was an outstanding musician his entire life. More than that, for the last 50 years, he was happily married to Anitris Green. But the last 3 years, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and diabetes have taken their toll.
He doesn't respond to me most of the time. I'm there 20 or 30 minutes before he knows who I am. And the nursing home doesn't tell you very much. They just want you there. And the bill paid each month. And sometimes the care is not what I would have it to be.
There are more than 9,000 nursing home residents in our area, and just like Mr. Green, they deserve to live their latter years in a safe, caring environment. The Nursing Home Ombudsman program at the Senior Source impacts lives at the deepest levels by tackling issues that need to be resolved, from unsanitary conditions to unanswered call buttons to comfort. Ombudsmen like Janelle Dixon work on behalf of people like the Greens to make sure of it.
Ms. Dixon is a very nice person, and when I ask her questions about things, and she would ask me what we needed to do and what she needed to hear, and they don't like to see her coming because they know she's going to get things right. With the help of my son and Miss Dixon, I'm doing very well, but this has been quite an experience for me.
The most precious thing to any parent, obviously, is a child. And as you get older and as you age and you see your parents age, it becomes clear that that role reversal makes your parents even more precious to you. And so you need an ally and you need a partner.
That partner is the Senior Source's new fee-for-service venture, Geriatric Care Management. Geriatric Care Management provides guidance to families on everything from living arrangements to medicine management to safety and even crisis intervention. As a caregiver to older adults, there are many questions, and most of them Rick Douglas and his family were unable to answer.
Just almost magically, they gave me the assurance that I needed that I was really doing the right thing, B, the resources that were important to me to be able to get the right services to my folks, and then C, the level of understanding that you need. It's just one of those great community resources that if everybody would take advantage of it, you know, it'd make even more lives, I think, a more positive experience.
My mother always raised me with this saying, it pays to be good.
Dorothy Neville has spent a lifetime of doing good. To pay it forward, she has joined the Senior Sources RSVP, Retired and Senior Volunteer Program. It's a program that has provided more than 2,000 senior volunteers to support nearly 200 nonprofits in Dallas and Collin County. Their work ranges from volunteering at food banks to tutoring elementary school children to working on environmental projects. But for Dorothy and fellow volunteer Janie Vircher, this program has impacted their lives far more than they could ever imagine. In an RSVP group called the Garland Gadabouts, they formed a bond that will last a lifetime.
Being able to be with a group as loving and caring as the Gadabouts are, and you know, it's not just an 8 to 5 relationship.
The care and concern that the Gadabouts have for each other has never been more evident than in their relationship with Dorothy. She lost her husband and son to cancer. Then last year, another son was tragically murdered by his own stepdaughter and boyfriend. The first people to offer her support and comfort were the Garland Gadabouts.
It has made a great difference in my life, and we try to make difference in other people by helping them, and it has just gave me lots of comfort.
It just lifts my spirit. It gives me something to look forward to. It's just an unbelievable high.
For 50 years, the Senior Source has been there for aging North Texans. They have educated the community on senior-related issues. They have matched older adults with desperately needed jobs. And they have provided protection for the most vulnerable segment of our community.
My vision for the Senior Source in the next 50 years is that we, working and collaborating with other organizations in the greater Dallas area, that we can really ensure that older adults live out their later years with dignity. And I think we all need to remember it's not over until it's over.
The Senior Source, the best thing about aging in Dallas since 1961.